Hello, what's up, guys? We're back for another episode of the Horror Flick Chicks podcast. I'm Sonia, and Sandra and Angie are with me as always. Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
And we're back reviewing season 3 of Only Murders in the Building. And we are on episode 3 today. And I just from the jump, I just want to say how much I really love this show.
I know it's just
Yeah, I
keeps
know.
getting better, right?
It's just so good.
I
The,
know.
the characters are so good. The actors work so well together. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know how they, decided on this cast for the show, but it's just
I know.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I know.
Everything about it. I just love it. And
Even like the smaller
yeah,
characters, like
everyone, the main characters, the special guests, and then the
the supporting
recurring supporting cast, great.
And the writing is
Yeah,
fantastic. And
everything.
I just want to say that, we're still SAG actors and writers are still to this day what's the word?
and the strike.
Striking. Yes, thank you. And yeah, I mean, give them what they need because
Yeah, man.
Seriously.
Quality shows like this need to be on the air. So,
yes.
We'll keep supporting. But yeah, this show was great. The episode was great. I thought it came out today. And make sure, I hope you guys saw episode 1 and 2 of the season. We're starting right from where episode 2 left off. And in episode 2, the new special character in this season is Paul Rudd, right? And he died. We're not giving anything away because we already said it last time. He died. And so make sure there's spoilers here. So make sure you understand that. And he died. And apparently the Charles, Mabel, and Oliver came to the conclusion that someone in the cast of the play killed him.
Yes.
Yeah, so it could be anybody.
It could be anyone. So now the Only Murders in the Building podcast season 3 is live on the show.
Yeah.
So they're starting out and going through suspects.
Grab your hankies.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you're following the show, in the last episode, Paul Rudd gave all the cast a handkerchief, right? And when he died, he had a handkerchief in his hand.
So as he was falling backwards, he grabbed whoever pushed him.
Right. Well, that's what was the determination of the sleuth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who done it was the person whose hanky he grabbed. So now Charles is trying to figure out who doesn't have
a hanky. Yeah.
So he's kind of like he dropped in on, rehearsal time, and he's trying to go through the crowd, and he's like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we did this memorial where we like got all our hankies together and made a quilt or something like that?
I thought that was so funny. Like, it's funny that on the show, like, he's an actor, right? Like, he was on that big show back in the day, and he's an actor. Yeah. And then he's trying to, like, be slick and act and trying to get this like information out of people, and he's not really doing a good job. Like, I feel like he should be better at that. But
it's funny watching him try.
No, it totally totally works, and was really funny, and so that he's just trying to figure out, like, thinking like, well, if somebody doesn't have the handkerchief, that means
they done it.
Right. That's the one that Paul Rudd took, and that person has to be the killer, right? So but before that, we see Mabel. She's going up to his room, to the penthouse. She's trying to find out some clues. And as soon as she's in the elevator, who does she see? Right? The
Robert with a T.
Robert with a T.
Robert.
Cameraman who is recording the biography of Laura's character.
Of Ben Glenroy.
Right. And he's going up to the penthouse too. For what? Apparently he left something there. He's going to try and find it. Right? Already suspicious. already suspicious.
Yes.
Yeah, and he
But
had
he's also suspecting Mabel
oh
because
yeah,
he's like,
and definitely
what are you doing
she didn't
here?
make it very like she kind of
Yeah,
made it
she
seem like she
make
was being
it very
sneaky.
obvious.
So
Yeah, so she was saying she was there for a headshot, but really she's just trying to find any kind of
She's trying to
evidence.
find clues.
right.
Yeah.
And then Talbot has keys to the apartment too. I'm like,
The apartment is hilarious, by the way. Like the big
Yeah.
cobra right outside the door.
oh yeah.
And like,
The co- There's
all
pictures
the
of him all over the place,
all over the
like
place.
portraits, big portraits. But he was full of himself. We saw that in the first episodes how he was. So
Right.
that kind of makes sense. And so yeah, they're in the apartment. They're both looking for their the objects that they said they were looking for, which
Right.
they
Yeah,
weren't.
he was looking for like a mic and she was
The boom mic.
boom mic.
Right.
Yeah.
And she was looking for the headshot and you know, obviously they didn't find that
Yeah.
because that's not what they were there for.
Shortly after they get there, they both realize that they're not there to look for what they said they were.
Right.
And they were both kind of there for the same thing.
Exactly.
And then they hear someone come in
yes.
and they hide in the closet. And who comes in? It's Ben's brother, who was
Dickie.
his assistant.
Yes. Yeah.
And so he seems very emotional.
Mm-hmm.
But a little suspicious too.
Yeah, agree.
He didn't it didn't seem like he had, not that he didn't have a good relationship with him, but that he treated him like not like his brother. He treated him like his assistant.
Yeah.
Like he was below him.
Yeah.
So he probably was doing that for a long time, and maybe he got
a little
tired.
resentful.
It just
Yes.
he got tired of it, and maybe he went too far with it, but so we don't know.
But out of all three of them, I think he's the one that I would think would have the key to the apartment.
Right.
Like, not Talbot.
Yeah, that's his
Why does he have
brother.
it?
Right.
That's
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of strange, but
Right.
That could be
Right.
On purpose.
So while Dickie it comes in and he's also, I don't know what he was really doing there, but I
think he was like packing some of his
like
stuff.
Packing,
Okay.
yeah.
So Tobert and Mabel were like hiding in the closet, and in the closet they were having just like really weird conversation about like Tobert was like telling Mabel about like this time he was in Botswana and he was like filming elephants.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, and then he's just kind of like telling her about the country and blah 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 and the food and whatever. It just seemed a little odd to me. Like it seemed like he was just trying to distract her or something.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, he through the conversation, she's like, they're both trying to figure out why the other is really there. So he basically, tells her like, I'm looking for, this basically the camera he was filming while they were at the party and while he like fell or whatever, or he got killed, was with him. So he's looking for this USB stick for the evidence for like whatever's on it.
See what was on it, yeah.
And he, it was kind of cute because during this whole thing, he's telling her like, yeah, I listened to your podcast. The first season was better than the second. It was cute.
Yeah, it's cute.
And meanwhile, she's doing her thing like we do on our show.
Yeah.
Okay, subscribe and give us some 5 stars. So I thought that was funny. But yeah, so he's telling her this story and they're kind of like just whispering to each other, waiting for Dickie to leave. Right. So eventually they get out of the closet. Dickie gets a phone call. He's like, okay, great. It sounds a little suspicious as well, but it could be anything.
Yeah. It could be anything. Yes.
So once he gets off and he leaves the apartment, they come out of the closet and I don't know how Mabel does it, but she grabbed that USB stick or whatever from Tobert and he doesn't even realize it. So at some point later on, we see, Mabel trying to get the password from him. eventually, I think, they were watching towards the end, they were watching the scenes together.
Yes.
So, but in the meantime, uh, Oliver was trying to, rehearse and compose for his new musical Razzle Dazzle. What is it called?
Death Rattle Dazzle.
Death Rattle Dazzle, which is absolutely hilarious. And he's at the piano, he's trying to compose, he's coming up with these ridiculous like songs. I mean, it was
I like the songs.
The songs are so funny, and
The
they're
songs
actually really catchy.
they're very Broadway, actually.
Yeah, and
They
they're
sound very Broadway.
catchy.
They were good.
Yeah, I know. I was actually like really liking them. And in the meantime, he's trying to like, get the main song ready for, I'm gonna call them the incestuous producers.
I know.
Because these two, the producers, are a mother and son that are just way too comfortable with each other and giving each other kisses. Like, it's just weird. And the whole thing is just so funny. And like, while those two are talking about like how he was still breastfeeding at 8 years old, and the mother's like, yeah, never give up on anything you love. Martin Short is just like standing there like, this is weird, but whatever, give me the money, like, anyway. But yeah, so during this whole thing, they're doing these numbers. Loretta comes back, who's Meryl Streep. She comes back and she's doing the rehearsals with the group. Martin Short's character Oliver is like not very happy with these
Well,
numbers.
she
She confesses to him that she's got a
she
gig.
divulges that she's
She's
got a
working
part.
with Dickie.
She's working with Dickie, and she got a part in what I thought was funny also.
Oh my
in
God.
Grey's Anatomy. Tobert from Grey's Anatomy.
A spin-off.
And
A spin-off of Grey's Anatomy
I thought that was so funny.
where she plays a dermatologist mother with a limp.
With a limp. Yeah, she has a limp.
Like, that's very important.
Yeah.
It's like that makes the whole character. It's the limp.
And she starts saying that, and she's very excited because it's a recurring, role, and they're giving her lines and blah blah blah. So she's very excited about that. And then when
she has to leave right away.
Yeah, she finds out about the musical, and Oliver's telling her about it, and she's rehearsing with them, and then he comes back and he says that he wants her to sing the song, the main song and everything in the show, whatever. But then, Dickie comes and says, well, Loretta, it's all set. You got the part. We have to leave right away.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah, we have to leave and go. And, everything else you can't do, basically. Right in front of Oliver, and Oliver's not happy and pretty much tells her. At this point, I was like, oh, this is like, he's being pretty much a dick here. Like, he told her, oh, well, you're under contract, so you can't go.
I mean, you can also understand where he's coming from.
No, I understood it and everything,
but he's being a jerk to her. He's not being supportive.
He was being a jerk. Yeah, totally being a jerk. And I think part of it was also that I feel like there's some kind of love connection happening there.
Yes.
He didn't want her to leave. So I think that was part of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it ended up that she's going to stay and work on the show anyway. So, but there's some connection happening there. So we'll see.
For sure. At that point, when she comes back and says, "I'll do it," they kiss.
Yeah. So we'll see how that plays out for the rest of the season. But that's actually nice. I think it's cute. And Meryl Streep is like so great. Like, she could do anything. I love it. Like, this is major movie actress. She's on this TV show. Like, and it's a great show. I wouldn't a little TV show, but
her character's kind of a little quirky and a little,
Yeah, she's not the main character. She's not, but I think it's just so great. I feel like at this point in her career, she's like, I could do anything, and those are probably all her friends, and she loves it, so she can do it. I think
Yeah.
it's so like cool that she's doing this show, actually. So yeah, she's great. And
Yeah, it's
so yeah,
fantastic. And when she does her number,
Oh, that
you know,
was
it
great.
just sounds
that
so,
was
it's
so
just
good. It
so, it's a
did.
different song than the one that they started with.
Yeah.
Also just really super, just really beautiful. And she's
Yeah.
just singing so beautifully. And as she's singing, you could see Kimber, who's played by Ashley Park, in the audience, getting really like, a little bit jealous.
A
It's
little, yeah.
like, oh, she's taking, too much of the space.
Like
So
she's good, but like
she
a little
gets up
too good.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
she gets up there on stage and kind of does the song with her as a duet, stands behind her and does the harmonies. And by the way, the two of them together are just, it's just, the harmonies are so great. I'm like, the casting is so good for
Good.
this.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
they get up there, they jam together, but you could see that Kimber keeps
Yeah.
staring at her like, I've got to get rid of you somehow.
Yeah.
You're right.
So now Kimber is starting to seem like the real suspect here to
Yes,
me.
and Charles speaks to her after
Yeah.
because remember the cast was telling Charles like they are not happy with the musical, they don't want to do the musical, and
Yeah,
Charles, you have to tell
it's
Oliver. We don't
disrespectful.
want, yeah, we don't want to do it. So, but once they did that number, it seemed like
She,
she had a change of heart,
oh
and
yeah,
it looked like something she wanted to do. So she was talking to Charles, and he said, "Okay, so what?" And he's coming back to when he asked everyone for the hanky to do the quilt. So
Yeah.
whenever you want to give the hanky and Kimber says, "Oh, I actually don't have it. I might have thrown it
giving it
away."
away. Yeah.
Giving it
Or
away, right.
and then Charles
He
texts
texts
Mabel,
Mabel. Yeah.
Kimber doesn't have the hanky.
And
So
she's
she's
watching. So when Charles texts Mabel, Mabel is at the coffee shop or wherever with Tolbert
Watching,
watching the recording of the video.
and in the recording,
Yes.
you could see Ben is like talking to someone who's
someone.
like a romantic partner,
Yeah.
because the as the dialogue goes, he's kind of like, if I'm with you, like I can't be a star, and it's something that I would definitely do for you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely a person of interest that he was talking to
Yeah.
last.
Yeah.
And we all know that he and Kimber had a thing. So there's that. I did suspect Kimber from the very
Yeah.
start.
The last
But
last
here's
one.
the thing. So we're also going to do another round, right? Of now, who do we suspect? My top is obviously still Kimber, but I still feel like it's too early on for it to be her for sure. Like
Oh yeah,
they're
this is
always
not.
trying to throw us off.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
not a
Always trying,
total like this is who we think it is for sure. This is just like based on the last episode we saw.
yeah.
Yes.
Do we still think the same people are the suspects, or do we have
Oh,
Right.
new characters that we think are suspects, or the people that we thought, oh, we don't think they're suspects anymore? We're just
yeah.
going week by week. That's what we're
Right.
doing.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it still could be Kimber,
Mhm.
but this I feel like is like trying to throw us off a little bit.
It's
And
possible.
a part of me is starting to feel like there are multiple murderers. There's must be
That
two
that
that
could
are
be.
working together, at least two, if not the entire cast minus Charles. So that's,
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. I have a feeling that obviously more things are going to come through.
Right.
And I definitely feel like there's like a combo here. So I don't know, I don't know if it's everybody. I don't know if it's just two people, but Kimber is still on my top, I think.
Okay.
What about you, Sonia?
Well, so last week I said that I thought maybe possibly Charles could be, but that's out the window now. No. I also thought that Loretta was possibly the
Yeah.
killer because
Yeah.
he did make a comment about Ben that he was like an asshole or something
Yeah.
first in the first or second episode. So I thought, maybe she was it because she's mad because she thought the play wasn't going to go on and this is a big
Right.
break and everything. So I'm keeping Loretta on my list because I think that she's also now she's getting other parts now and she's starting to be more popular and kind of getting the recognition that she's been like craving for all these years. And I feel like she's gonna do anything she needs to do to stay on top and to stay like, relevant. So I
Right.
think it possibly can still be her. Also on my list is Tolbert.
Oh, yes.
I think I could possibly be Tolbert. He maybe he killed off Ben because he wants to do this book or about him. And it's kind of more interesting when the person is dead because you can kind of like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Can I ask
Figure
you one
more stuff.
quick question
Yeah.
though?
Yeah.
What do you think? Because I did think about Tolbert too.
Mhm.
But here's the thing, like I felt like why would Tolbert be free with watching the footage with Mabel if he was definitely the guy?
I think he's just throwing things off.
It could be just throwing it off.
Yeah, I
Maybe he
think
knows what's also on there and he knows that his
that is not right.
doing
It
is
could be
not on
that. It
there.
could be anything. I
Yeah.
think I don't think he's not my top suspect, but definitely think that it's a possibility that it could be him.
Yeah.
I also think in the same level as Tolbert is Dickie. It could be
Yeah.
Dickie
Yeah.
too, because like you said, Sandra, he's probably bitter and Ben treats him like
Yeah.
shit and stuff. And I think
Oh, that would be so cruel,
and I
killing
think
your
Dickie
sibling.
I
Oh
think
my
Dickie's the
God.
older. I think Dickie's the older brother. So he probably is like, you know,
I don't know, but
I'm not sure, but I think it seems to me, and so I don't know, but
right.
he's not my top suspect either. I definitely, I'm not sure. I think I kind of agree with you, Angie, about Kimber that that's a possibility, but she's not on my list because I kind of think it's too easy. Like right
Okay.
now, I'm not putting her on my list. I think is a little bit too easy, for her. But I also have another suspect that possibly could be it is
Mhm.
Cliff. Cliff is the son of the producer.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
interesting.
Because I think he's very quirky and strange, and I think he's really into wanting to produce this show. Like this is going to be a big thing
Yeah,
for him.
that's
This is the
true.
first time I feel
What
like
if it's the producers?
yeah.
What if
Well,
it's both of
well,
them?
if it's a team, like you said, it could be them. But
Yeah.
Right.
I was watching Cliff, and I thought maybe it might be Cliff because he really wants this show to happen, and he's gonna do anything he can to make it happen. Maybe the killing off of Ben gives the play the more notoriety, and people would want to come see it, and because something
Right.
happened to the
Now it's being
actor, so
redone.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I have him strong on the list. Okay.
And he knows that his mother will do whatever he wants him
And
to.
yeah, exactly. He knows he could get it through and get it done. So
Breastfeeding at 8 years old. Come on. I'm
so yeah,
sorry.
those
No
are my
judgment,
those
but
are my
the
predictions
kissing on the
for
lips is a little judgy. Go
those
ahead,
are
Sandra.
my predictions for this week.
So you went very in depth with this
Mhm.
with your little suspect list.
Yeah.
Last time I didn't even think about it, and honestly, this time I now that I know we're gonna do this as a recurring thing, I'm gonna make sure I focus more on figuring this out. But
Now we're all
I
gonna
would
be like,
I would say right now my top picks for the killer is Kimber or Dickie.
Okay.
yeah,
So basically the same reasons that you guys said. Um, Kimber. We found out Kimber doesn't have a hanky. But we don't know if there's somebody else who doesn't have a hanky either.
That's
So,
true.
that's
but
true.
because she doesn't have one, she's on the suspect list.
Yep.
And like you said, Sonia, and Dickie too he could be just like a bitter employee, family member, and he got just tired of his shit, and it's like that's it, and he wanted him to be gone.
Yeah, he did seem very apologetic. when he was in the apartment. He was throwing things
Yeah,
around.
he was
Yeah.
crying and
Yeah.
And
Like maybe like, it could be like he felt guilty for what he did.
yeah,
That, even
I'm
if he
sorry. I'm sorry, Ben.
even if he possibly did do it, like it was still his brother and he still loved him. So then he felt
he
guilty.
felt good. Yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe it was just like a moment of like, "Ah, I can't do it," and then
yeah, like he was in a fit
it
of
could have
rage
been
for
an
some
impulse
reason,
thing,
and
not
just kind
anything
of
that was
not
planned,
thinking. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so
Hmm.
those
And
are
I think,
my two
and
guesses.
I think, like, I don't think that he would have gotten a hanky necessarily, right, Dickie? But
I guess not. Well, they said that Ben only gave him to the cast, and he's not in
right,
the cast.
right. So he wouldn't necessarily have a hanky, but Ben had a hanky too. That could have been Ben's hanky that he had on him.
Maybe
It could be that.
That could just be like Ben's like trademark, and his brother did have a hanky.
it's true.
You know what
It
I
could
mean? Like we
That could
don't
be
know.
something he gives to all his casts when he does things.
Yeah, and technically his brother is part of his
Part of
employees.
the crew, and yeah,
Yeah.
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 So
So, I mean, I think this is good. I think this is a good suspect list. It could be anybody actually. And I'm
yeah.
curious to
I love
see,
how we literally named everybody on the cast. I'm like, okay, my suspect list is everybody on the
and
cast.
it could be someone totally different. Like we don't even
Yeah.
know. I'm curious to see the rest of the season and to see if anyone else dies. Like
Yeah.
someone else gonna, step too far
Maybe somebody else is getting in the
in
way
this,
of
yeah, in the
and
way of
then
everything,
I'd
and they
also
get
love to
killed. Like,
see if another character comes out because I feel like they do that to us a lot too.
yeah, it's gonna
They bring
be
out new people.
a twist and turns the whole way. I don't think it's
yeah.
gonna be really who we suspect from the beginning. It's gonna be somebody not that obvious. So that's the kind of fun part of this show, I think. You
Yeah.
know? So, yeah, this again a great episode. Make sure, guys, you checking out Only Murders in the Building, streaming on Hulu. It's on episode 3 now. New episodes come out every Tuesday. Check it out. Comment on our videos. Let us know what you think. Let us know who's on your suspect list. And make sure you follow us. Okay, we're on Instagram and Facebook. Horror Flick Chick.
Threads.
Oh, and Threads, that's right. Threads
Yeah.
is new thing. I,
Oh.
I gotta keep remembering to say that. Threads, the new thing the kids are doing. We're on that too. And you can also follow us here on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. Please subscribe. We have all our podcast content on this channel, and we also have it streaming on several audio platforms. So check us out. Again, we are the Horror Flick Chicks, Sonia, Sandra, and Angie, and we'll see you next time. Peace, love, and horror.
Peace.
Bye.
That's the end.